Hello, my name is Toma Ihara, and today I'll be presenting my experience in Stanford Japan 2026 spring cohort. I am born and raised in Miyagi Prefecture in Sendai City, and I am a second-year IB student at仙台育英学園 Shuko course. My journey with Stanford program actually started back in first year of IB. I first completed Stanford Sendai Ikue, and then Stanford Japan, and Stanford Japan was my third Stanford program. So, starting with what is Stanford Japan? Stanford Japan is an online course offered by Stanford University, specifically through SPICE, the Stanford Program on International and Cross-Cultural Education. It connects Japanese high school students with top scholars, entrepreneurs, and experts from Stanford, Silicon Valley, and beyond. The entire course is taught in English, runs about 5 to 6 months, and concludes by writing a final research paper and doing a group work. Also, this is fully funded by Yanai Tadashi Foundation, meaning there's no tuition fee. The application itself was competitive. It requires an essay in English, video statement in both English and Japanese, and 2 letters of recommendations. The essay prompt asked about cross-cultural communication experience, which connected directly to my own background and why I wanted to join. The program covered 12 modules across a wide range of topics. Each module featured guest speaker and group discussion. It wasn't just about learning facts, but it was about engaging with ideas and forming our own perspectives. Every week, we had one writing assignment and at least 3 discussion posts on Canvas. These weren't surface level responses, but we were expected to read others' posts, reply, and build on each other's ideas. That structure itself trained us to think dialogically. One of the most memorable experience was at the very beginning of the program, an interactive class with RSP students, the Rice Shower Scholars Program. We were Japanese students curious about US, and they were American students curious about Japan. We discussed current events like society, politics, and social media. It was genuinely cross-cultural dialogue, not just learning about each other, but we learned with each other. Module 6 on World War II was particularly impactful for me. The guest speaker was a professor from University of Tokyo. What struck me was that this module didn't ask us to judge who was right or wrong. Instead, it taught us how to perceive history, to understand historical context rather than simply memorizing facts. Having experienced both traditional Japanese education and IB, I could personally feel the significance of that distinction. For the Silicon Valley and Entrepreneurship module, our group tackled the decline of Japanese traditional crafts and culture. Our solution, Heritage 2.0, positioned youth as the bridge between craftsmen and the global market, like by using social media, AI translation, and also virtual craft experience. The core insight was that traditions aren't inherently outdated, but they just haven't built for today's users. What made this project special wasn't just about the idea, it was how we developed it. My idea was chosen by a group originally. I could have taken control from there, but instead I stayed open, invited criticism, and actively merged others' perspective into concepts. The result was something stronger than what any one of us could have created alone. That process, like opening dialogue, reading to better ideas, is exactly what my final research paper argues. So what I did in my final research paper, I wrote 1,600 words on the comparison of Japanese and US education and its relationships to original thinking, drawing on OECD PISA 2022 data and 6 academic research paper from Oxford University and Kyoto University researchers. I argued that the key to original thinking isn't one system or the other, but cross-cultural exposure itself. Like programs like Stanford Japan and Stanford Entrepreneurship Japan created a condition where students encounter different assumptions, and that encounter is where original thinking begins. And this is what I love about Stanford Japan, because this is what a space where I could genuinely challenge myself. I met peers from diverse backgrounds and even built a startup called Relic with one of my cohort members. More than anything, Stanford Japan gave me 2 new realizations. One was what authentic discussion actually feels like, and another one is how to perceive knowledge and not just memorizing it. Stanford Japan has been one of the most intellectually formative experiences of my life. I'm grateful for SPICE, Stanford University, and Yanai Tadashi Foundation for making this possible. Thank you for listening.